Hey you guys, it's your girl Latanya Vibes. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? And we are rolling with Latanya Vibes. All right, so let's do a little walk and talk. All right, this is not an official episode. If you are new here, welcome to the motherfucking channel. Welcome to the vibes. Welcome to the frequency. Yeah, okay. If you're new here, welcome. I appreciate you for giving me your time, your space. And I know the reason why y'all are here today is because y'all was like, you might have ate us up in the motherfucking title of this episode or this little chat, this little talking with Tanya. Talking with Tanya, okay? Today, as I was driving home, a new perspective had dawned upon me as I was watching reaction. All right, y'all better pay attention for me, okay? Y'all better keep your head on the swivel. Keep your head on this. Okay, so boom. I was watching some reactionary pages or channels that I watch on YouTube, and I no longer necessarily have a TikTok account because when they said, hey, terms and conditions, they were very much the only platform I feel like that was very upfront and forthright about the terms and conditions and how they about to run some things, right? And so whenever they said, these are the terms and conditions, Latanya said, and this is where we part ways. So Latanya doesn't necessarily have TikTok, but I feel like no matter what you're doing, you are being infiltrated by TikTok. And because TikTok has such a large base of people that create, not only create, but use or users, I guess, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, is because they have such a large user base, right? You're gonna see TikTok, you're gonna be infiltrated by the TikTok no matter what. And so I follow a few creators that do reactionary channels. Lovely T is one of my favorite. Keita Rose, okay, she just changed it to Podacity. There's a few other people that or creators that I watch that do reactionary videos, and I love the videos that they do because it's not necessarily just a whole bunch of like a lineup of fucking reels or TikToks. And they're like, oh, ooh, ah. They're not giving that. They're giving like, let's give topic, let's present a topic, and then use social media to back up the point or claims. I'm getting beat up. I know it tastes good. Let's stop. Let me stop. But anyways, I follow these creators and I like that they're topic-based reactions. And so today I found a new creator. I kept hitting scroll, refresh, not scroll. I kept refreshing on YouTube to try to find something to listen to on the way home. And I just kept getting reaction. And it was either just like, I would say toxic positivity videos that were popping up. Some videos I feel like are just more cynical, meaning like I have put them into the algorithm. It's my fault. It's not theirs. I'm gonna take my own motherfucking accountability. And then there's some things where it's just like, because you watch this creator and there are other people that watch this creator, watch this other creator, they gonna recommend it. So Latanya finds this creator and it was about something feels weird. And I don't know how many other people see that, but I constantly see, no matter if I'm on YouTube, if I'm on, not TikTok, sorry, Instagram. I really don't play with Facebook because Facebook is giving family reunion for me. It's giving family reunion for me. So I just stay out there, right? But I've noticed with the YouTube channels, it's always talking about this energy shift that we are collectively feeling. And so that's what I wanted to talk about. Let me do a cute little, we made it somewhere. I wanted to talk about this collective shift that I've noticed spiritualists, like the spiritual channels, have referenced this. I would say just TikTok, the TikTok algorithm constantly pushes it out, or social media constantly pushes this message out of there's this weird shift and we don't know what the shift is. Nothing feels right. Life doesn't feel like it used to. I don't know what type, like I'm just referencing the video I just recently watched, okay? So please do not be up on my motherfucking ass because I would get right back with you. Okay, I got time. Calm down, Tanya, calm down. But in the video, basically, it was like a series of TikTok creators that were saying like, do y'all feel like something's weird? Like work don't feel the same, gas prices is going up. And some of the things, it's like collectively we all can say, I feel like we all have been hinting towards certain things being a distraction placed by the beings at bay, right? Whether we don't know who the fuck the beings are. I feel like all the conspiracies, we have our own, the conspiracy theorists, we have our own definition of who the powers that be might be, right? But we just know that there's basically an adversary that is literally controlling some things, or that's what is being projected on the social media algorithm, and like just feeling like this sense of hopelessness. And I just want to say this: I am not negating none of the things that these people are saying, and because these are their opinions, this is how they feel, this is the realities that they're living in. But it was the fact that I was like, okay, low-key, I do know what you're talking about, because I've been feeling like that. But when I would sit my ass down, touch grass, and realize that a lot of the things that I've been putting to the forefront of my mind of being this like important, like life-altering things don't even really matter. And so that's gonna get me to the point that I wanted to bring in the title of the episode, right? Or the title of this video. Maybe, right? And I know it's gonna hurt, it's gonna be pissing y'all off, because y'all gonna be like, accountability, bitch. First of all, we gotta hold these other motherfuckers accountable. What about the Epstein file? Yeah, I feel you, right? Right. But I've also learned there's only certain fucking things that I can control within the 24 hours that I got, and I'm not even promised the next 24. And that's something that, as somebody that used to be a suicidal person, I'm proud to even say that that is my mindset now, because before it used to be like, cut my life into pieces, this is my last resort. It has very much been like, we don't take it moment by moment, minute by minute, okay, second by second, if that's really all it's giving. And so I realized in the title of the episode, and I keep going past it, is maybe, right, it's not the power. I mean, it could be two things at once, right? Because we do also like to acknowledge duality. We like to acknowledge duality, right? And I also am not negating the cultural concerns that we all are having within our own cultures, our own social classes, and all the things, right? I don't want to negate that we are all having, we all have pressing issues that are truly detrimental, and have been, because that's the point of what we about to get to, that have been detrimental to all of our own communities, large and big, small and big, what I don't know the word I'm looking for, collectively and on a small personal tier, okay? And so I realized that recently, because of my own things, and I'm going to go ahead and tell my sins. I'm going to tell my sins. I feel like the issue is not that these things are occurring and that there's powers that be that are having us face what's going on, and it's, oh, they got to tell, they do have to, okay, y'all know this is the conspiracy girl coming back. They do have to tell you what they're doing, but there's a lot of things, and we're going to get into escapism because that's the point. I realized that the escapism that we had been practicing in the past is no longer working. And the distractions, I feel like there's the same way there's a subconscious and there's a conscious, right? There's conscious distractions. The conscious distractions are the powers that be, right? It's the constant adversity that we all are facing in our own cultural spaces, right? It's the constant, like the collective, right, adversity that we're facing and feeling like this hopeless, what can the fuck we do? And also feeling limited in what you can do, because it's like, baby, I barely can get myself through the next 24, and y'all are wanting me to reach my hand out. And then you also want me to reach my hand out to people that I'm fearful of because COVID. I'm just kidding. I mean, that too. Social anxiety has definitely peaked since COVID, right? I feel like social anxiety wasn't really a conversation for a while, and now we all want to acknowledge it. But I realized, and this is where I said I'm gonna go ahead and speak my own sin. And if you judge me, judge your man me too. Okay, that's how I feel about it. I realized that all of the things that I used to do to escape the realities, and which I would always call it entering La La Land. La La Land was a space where Tanya can go and do what the fuck she want. Good or bad, happy or sad, she was doing it, right? Good for my good or detrimental to the will, okay? I realized, like, for instance, boys, people's sons. I used to love to escape into somebody's son. I would escape into a quick little 1 year, very, very much tumultuous relationship. But then I realized I don't get validation and satisfaction and a sense of dopamine hit that I used to get from that. I realized that used to chasing for that motherfucking bag every day, chasing for them goals professionally. Let me walk my black ass back this way so y'all can hear me. I love something. New York Fashion Week, book me before it gets too high. Okay, price just increased with that. Okay, but no, I realized that me using that whole, I'm just gonna be tunneling in right now on my motherfucking vision. I'm trying to lock the fucking, y'all hoes ain't locked in. Y'all don't get up on y'all Zoom like I be on my Zoom. I was in that, but guess what? I was escaping. Okay, that was a sense of escapism. Let's think about something else. I am the best motherfucking mother in the world. Okay, escaping into motherhood because I really just don't want to deal with the other fucking parts of my life that I feel are failing, right? Escaping into all these motherfucking hobbies, okay, because you want to feel something different. And the reason why I realized that I was going through a sense of escapism is because I thought back to the original time where all of us were basically secluded in our homes. We had nowhere to go, and we all chose to virtually or tap in virtually and escape into a whole virtual world, which is how content creation and all of the things took the boost that it did during what? COVID, during the pandemic, right? So I realized even that was escapism. I know that, like, it's like, bitch, where the fuck did you want us to go? If we can't go to Bella Noche's, where can we go? I hear you. But I just want to tell you, as a girl who used to, I'd still be having my moments of escapism, I realize it's because we don't want to feel the feelings that we feel in between the tasks that we be doing. Like, for instance, when I'm driving to work is when I start to think about how life really fucking feels right now, right? And then it's like, what am I using to escape that? I might tune into a motherfucking podcast to tune out how the fuck I feel, because I don't want to deal with that, because I know I got to clock in and give these people 8 hours of fake ass I got to code switch and not be myself, and we got to suppress ourselves. And I feel like we are all collectively get into a space where escapism is no longer working, which is why collectively we feel like there's a big shift, because collectively there is a big shift, and it's realizing we can't escape what the fuck is going on until we deal with what's going on in our face, right? Feel the fucking feelings, and then choose to do what we're gonna do about it, because now we realize escaping don't fucking help. We don't have nowhere to escape to. Ain't no... Baby, you jump the border, you got to deal with some motherfucking problems over the water. Jump the water, you got to go over there and deal with the problems over the water. There's no escaping, and I feel like collectively as humans, humanoids, or whatever the fuck y'all want to call us, right, today, I feel like because there is nowhere to escape, we are then now reaching back to a feeling that no longer resonates with us. And then we try to recreate those feelings and the emotions, because as humans, we use our senses to create those memories, and that's why we like to replicate things. Okay, you remember that time we had that one fairy ass girls night? Girl, we was so lit. We got to go back to Bella Noche's. We got to do that. And then we try to recreate that moment with the same bitches or new bitches that don't feel the same. Or you're like, well, something's just not right. It's not that nothing is not right. It's that this no longer resonates with you. And because this no longer resonates with you, and you haven't projected or even have the chance to deal with the feelings that actually are tied to that scenario, which is why you feel the way you do, right? So I'm gonna give y'all an example. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all an example. When LaTanya starts to feel a certain type of way, back in the day, I used to escape into the men's. Okay, and I realized, and it would be so cool, I could see the pattern coming, and I would know this ain't gonna be forever. I would know it ain't gonna be forever. I'd be like, but let's do a butterfly. Do a butterfly, okay? So I found myself doing it for the plot. And I would start to feel those it would not be the same dopamine hit, but it hits that level. It'd be like, oh shit, it's kind of like when you're a stoner, right? Nothing will ever feel like the first high till you try something new with a new high. And even then, it's never gonna compare to the first high that you had, whatever that was. So it's like, when you think of it like that, all of us have different vices. Not everybody has the same vice. And I had to learn to stop judging people's vices through my lens, because clearly they're not going to have the same vice. For instance, some people, they can literally, they don't need no trees to fill their lungs for extra oxygen to, hit their brain to regulate. But then there's people like me where I will escape into that blunt and say, fuck the world. I will escape in that blunt and say, you know what, I don't have to deal with my family today. And I mean by my family, I'm always a mother. Let's not play that. I'm talking about my other role as a mother, like as a sister, a daughter, a auntie, a niece, all the things, right? I will escape to that blunt. As soon as I'm having a day at work where I feel like I just suppress myself too much, I will escape into that blunt for me to be able to have just enough energy, just a little bit enough energy to show up and be numb. And that's really all it is. It's a numbing feeling. Run Club can be a numbing feeling. Now all of a sudden you're chasing all these as soon as I hear people start putting metrics on something that I just created, not to be in an escape type of vibe, but more of a like, This is where I'm going to heal. This is where I'm going to challenge myself to deal with certain things that I might not necessarily have the space to deal with in the other spaces that I've been in. Meaning, like, I feel like I get challenged socially in a way that I don't get challenged in my family dynamic or in my work dynamic. Being in a different space definitely challenges me in spaces that I need to grow, right? And so that's how I can tell when it's escapism and this is like me actually dealing with who I am and where I'm at in this season. I realize the days that I finally sit with how I feel and I don't try to run, like, it'd be hard. I promise y'all, it'd be hard to be like, you know what, y'all, I actually cannot show up today for work because my brain is not healthy, which has also affected my body. And kids, I know that normally mental health days, y'all get to stay at home with me, but y'all gonna go to school. Y'all gonna go to school. And I sit with all the uncomfortable feelings that come up. I think about all the embarrassing fucking things. Y'all have to realize, even at this old ass age of 32, I still have flashbacks to the most embarrassing shit that I have done from childhood. And I'm like, well, how the fuck is this coming up, right? Why is this even coming up, right? It's clearly some unresolved things I gotta deal with, that I'm dealing with, right? In those moments. But I realized in this season, if we want to stop feeling like shit does not feel right, if we want to stop feeling like there's a shift happening, but then also feeling like you don't know when the shift is happening, and it always feels like it's being prolonged, and it's kind of like the conversation about the world ending. I've just, at this point, I feel like, when are we going to realize that it's a conscious that is dying? It's a level of conscious that is dying when we say that there's the end of a world. Because it's the end of thinking, it's the end of a way of being, it's the end of a way of showing up. You get what I'm trying to say? So in this season, right, I need just to really fucking unplug, because anytime I have to hit refresh 3 times on a YouTube just to get a good video to eat a little meal to, it shows me in that moment, why can't I just eat that motherfucking meal, no stimulation? Because I don't want to start crying in the middle of them good ass green beans, because it's going to remind me of the time when I used to sit with my family and enjoy that as a child, and now I haven't had that, and the people who used to be there, it's like we don't realize that, because again, like I said earlier, all of our feelings, emotions, and memories are tied to each other. They're all intertwined, which is why sometimes when we find ourselves chasing nostalgia and then we try to get it to hit the same and it just don't, we have to realize that in that moment we are trying to escape into an old reality, a new reality. I really rather I struggle like a motherfucker with that one. I really rather you guys choose to, if you're gonna be Delulu and you're gonna go into a reality, why not it be a reality of the future, a reality that you were actively cultivating in the present? And I'm not talking about something you want to have this amount of money. I'm saying money don't even hit, it don't even hit the same, okay? Money don't even hit the same. So I need us to collectively sit the fuck down, right? And I know with all the shit that we got going on, it's like, sit the fuck down, babe. If I sit the fuck down, we ain't gonna have light to car. I feel you. I be there. I'm not even gonna say I've been there, because shit, as long as I'm kicking, I probably gonna go through it 2 more times. It's okay. Tanya's here with y'all, but I just need y'all to have a better perspective and realize that maybe it's not the powers that be that is giving us this fucking hell. Because honestly, all you gotta do is sow a seed of doubt into the mind of anybody, and they will self-destruct themselves. You don't have to do anything. Just sow the seed and let them water it. And I'm not saying do that shit, because that's definitely terrible, but I'm giving y'all, a little parable. Well, thank y'all for coming on this little evening walk. Look at us getting our little steps in, clearing our mind together, talking about some shit. I do want to cover more on that, like the whole idea of maybe escapism is no longer working as a distraction anymore. And the funny part is about that is that's something that we create. That's not something that somebody else does to us. Which is why I say y'all gonna hate me at the beginning of this, because who the fuck really wants to hear that and be accountable for that? Y'all hear me? Look, I'm gonna be playing. Let me see a shadow. All right, y'all. I hope y'all have an amazing night. I love y'all. Bye.